Well, it looks like Uber are going out of business. Rachel Reeves has just put a 20% taxi tax on. But let's not forget that she's also put in 3p per mile on electric vehicles and 1.5 pence per mile on hybrid cars. So who do you think's going to pay that? Yes, you, the customer. So yet again, taxing the poor into oblivion. So you know that Uber that cost you £4 to get into the town centre? Well, it's going to be going up, ain't it? But it's all for the environment. Greedy, greedy bastards. Do you know she is now the Chancellor that's raised taxes the most over 2 budgets in history? That's the Labour way. So yeah, don't start complaining when your Uber driver is asking for £15 when a couple of weeks ago they were asking for 10. Hey, it's okay. They put national living wage up though, didn't they? Oh, who's going to pay for that? Yeah, prices are going to go up in the shops and the restaurant to accommodate it. Stupidness.
Breaking. The Chancellor has just slapped a 20% taxi tax on private hire vehicles and a brand new 3p per mile charge on every electric car starting 2028, on top of normal road tax. Uber fares about to explode, EV owners fuming, and the very people Labour claim to help are getting hammered again. Is this the final nail in the electric dream, or just the biggest tax raid in modern history? Buckle up, you're about to see exactly who's paying for net zero.
Breaking news for EV and hybrid owners in the UK. The UK government has just announced a new tax that's not replacing road tax, but it's on top. It's called the Electric Vehicle Excise Duty, and if you're worried about it, here are the details. Essentially, it is a mileage-based tax where electric vehicles will be charged 3 pence per mile and hybrid vehicles 1.5 pence per mile. But here's the rub, it doesn't replace your road tax, it's on top. So if you're doing 10,000 miles in the year, you'll have to pay an additional £300 to the government for the privilege. And guess what? They want you to report it yourself at the end of the year, and they're doing this because of the revenue that they'll lose from fuel because they're pushing you towards electric. It's due to start 2028, and let me know what you think. Do you think it's inevitable or just another reason for us to buy combustion instead?
Government, they want you to have an electric vehicle. Yeah! They're going to give you £3,500 off your car. There's a list of cars where you get a government subsidy. Yes! What about road tax though? They don't pay road tax. If you use diesel or petrol, you pay road tax. So they got a new plan. New plan is 3p a mile. Just 3p. What's 3p? 3p a mile when you drive an electric car on the road. Which means that, I mean, let's take a look at the budget. £3,500 off some cars. That's like 125,000 miles. That's going to affect people who drive a lot. And so people who drive a lot are going to look at that and they might say, well, I'm not going to drive an electric car, which means that the people who drive the most are going to drive more polluting cars. Am I cross about it? Well, I own an electric car, so yeah, I'm cross about it. The message is here of we are pro-electric cars, we're going to put money into charging stations and all of that, is then a little bit undermined by the 3p a mile tax.
And he done it. Pay per mile car tax is coming to EVs, I think 2028. But it's still frustrating. It is still frustrating. But there's a few key points that I want to know about. So I'm going to tell them here. Let me know in the comments. Do you reckon we need to know? So with any type of tax, clean air zone, congestion charge, there's normally allowances for business use, professional drivers, etc., etc. So are the taxi drivers, private hire drivers, going to be paying 3p per mile? Or will it be reduced for us? Or even completely squashed for professional drivers? We need to know that for one. We need to know as well, is it a tax deductible? Is it a write-off? Do you know what I mean? Can we write off our taxes with the accountants and stuff? Because obviously we're using our car for business use. And the third one, and I think a lot of people don't realise, guys, it's still stupidly cheaper to drive an EV with the car tax on your night charge than it is a diesel. Do you know what I mean? If you do 1,000 miles a week, and you're home charging for all of it, it'll work out about £20 a week charge, plus the car tax, £50 a week charge. Let me know in the comments how much does it cost you to run 1,000 miles in your diesels or your hybrids. Let me know in the comments. What do you reckon of this new tax rule? Will it put you off going in EV? Hit the little like and follow button. And go check out the article at DM News.
Well, it's happened. As I've predicted for years on this channel, pay per mile is officially coming to Britain. The government has now confirmed a new mileage-based charge for battery electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles. Starting in 2028, expected to raise roughly £1.4 billion a year. It will be the UK's first national road pricing scheme, but only for electric and plug-in hybrid cars. Think of it as VED 2.0. Instead of charging you based on emissions, it charges you based on how far you drive. Petrol and diesel owners, you're unaffected for now. You've already been paying your mileage tax through fuel duty. When is it coming? April 2028. Not next year, not the year after. This is a slow burn change, probably to avoid scaring already nervous EV buyers. How much will it cost? The OBR's modelling suggests that to raise £1.4 billion, we're likely talking around 3 pence per mile. For context, the average UK driver does about 7,000 miles a year. So you're looking at roughly £150 to £210 annually on top of existing EV running costs. Not catastrophic. But it's a wedge. More importantly, it's psychological. And in car buying, psychology is everything. Why is this happening? Tax revenue. As EVs grow and fuel duty income shrinks, the Treasury needs to plug the gap. They've spent years encouraging you to go electric only to tax the very behavior they pushed you toward. Lovely, just great. How will it work? We don't know the technical system yet. It could be odometer reporting, telematics, smart charging data, or a yearly mileage submission. Now, here's the bit the mainstream reports aren't saying. This move lands right when manufacturers and dealers are already struggling to hit the UK's ZEV mandate. Sales have slowed, used EV values are volatile, and many buyers are already hesitant. Now they add a brand new tax on the very vehicles the government keeps insisting everyone should buy. That hesitation just became hesitation plus paperwork. And drivers considering the switch to electric now have another reason to delay, especially when the advantage over petrol and diesel gets chipped away again. And all this for £1.4 billion, which, in Treasury terms, well, that's sofa cushion money. In short, the government is trying to protect its revenue, but it risks hurting the very industry it needs to hit its climate targets. And the people caught in the middle are ordinary motorists who just want clarity, fairness and a car they actually want to drive.
इलेक्ट्रिक और हाइब्रिड गाड़ियों पर भी नया टैक्स आयद कर दिया गया है और इसका जो इतलाक है वो 2028 से होगा, जब फी माइल गाड़ियों को टैक्स अदा करना पड़ेगा। जो फ्यूल प्राइस है उसको फ्रीज कर दिया गया है अगले चंद सालों के लिए, और हुकूमत ने जो इलेक्ट्रिक कार स्कीम है उसके लिए 1.3 बिलियन पाउंड्स भी अनाउंस किया है उसकी मद में, ताकि लोग ज्यादा से ज्यादा जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कार्स हैं उनकी जानिब माइल हो। और फ्यूल जो है, जो पेट्रोल से चलने वाली गाड़ियां हैं, हुकूमत ये चाहती है कि आइंदा आने वाले दिनों में ज्यादा से ज्यादा जो लोग हैं वो इलेक्ट्रिक गाड़ियों की तरफ राग़िब हों, नई गाड़ियां लें, और इस स्कीम के लिए उन्होंने 1.3 बिलियन पाउंड्स की जो रकम है वो मुख्तस की है इस बजट के अंदर।
Did you listen to the budget? Well, if you didn't, one of the biggest things to come out of it is the fact that there is going to be a tax on electric cars and hybrid cars, which I think is going to shock a few people, because the big push by both governments, Labour and Tories, towards electric vehicles is coming back to bite them in the backside. So electric vehicle tax of 3p per mile for electric cars and 1.5p per mile for plug-in hybrids. Now, no mention of any rises for hybrids that charge theirself. But at the bigger picture of that, I mean, they promised that they're going to cut energy costs. They always have done, but we know they're continuing to go up. Charging points are rare, forcing people to charge more at home, where personal energy bills are going through the roof. But let's have a look at hire cars. Normally these days, if you go and hire a car or get a courtesy car for anything, it's often an electric car. So do you think customers will start saying we don't want an electric car, we want to stick to a fossil fuel car? Because are people really prepared to pay the extra money? And of course, this is going to really hit people that have followed the party guidelines and bought electric cars or plug-in hybrids because they're saving the planet, and they might be having to go to hospital appointments or see family or travel to see family that's poorly at 3p a mile. When I take my wife to see her mother, it's probably only about 20 miles. So 20 miles at 3p is not a great deal, is it? 60 pence. But 3 times a week, 12 times a month, that really does push up people's bills. That's, taxing working people or taxing people on benefits in a roundabout way. So I just wonder what it will do to the car sales as well. Do you think there will now be a fall in electric cars and plug-in hybrids?
So there you have it. They bribed us into electric cars with subsidies and zero road tax, and now they're moving the goalposts with a mileage tax that hits the hardest for people who actually drive: nurses, carers, delivery drivers, anyone doing real miles. Your £4 Uber into town, kiss it goodbye. Your green EV that was meant to save you money. It just became another Labour tax trap. The message is crystal clear: go electric, and we'll tax you anyway. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments. Are you ditching your EV plans after this budget?